once again, junior kids. I welcome you all in yet another class, and this is our EVS class, Environmental Studies, and today we are going to learn about one new concept, and that is float and sink. Float and sink. So what is meant by float and sink? What do you think? Do you have any idea what is meant by float and what is meant by sink? Okay, to make you understand this concept better, we are going to do an activity. Okay, children? So, ready to do the activity? So, kids, as I said that we are going to do an activity to understand the concept of float and sink better. For that, I have kept a bottle filled with water. Okay, not only that, I have some object with me. So I have some glitters, some plastic toy, wooden block, and some objects. What are the objects? We have straw, dry leaves, beads, cubes, coins, pebbles, paper. Now what are we going to do is, we are going to drop all this object one by one and let's see what happens. Let's start with the glitters. So I am going to put the glitter. Okay, next I'm going to drop some plastic toy. I'm going to drop the pebble. I'm going to drop the marble. I'm going to drop the rock. I'm going to drop the straws. Okay. Straws. I'm going to drop the buttons. Can you see the buttons? Okay. Next I'm going to drop beads. Beads. Okay. Next I'm going to drop the cubes. Next I'm going to drop some dry leaves. Next, with some pista shells, coin, I'm going to drop the coin. I'm going to drop the marble. I'm going to drop the paper. I'm going to tear it and I'm going to drop it. So kids, why some object went inside, some object stayed on the surface of the water? Objects that stays on the surface of the water means they are floating. These objects are floating, and the objects that went inside the water are called sink. Sink. These objects sinks in the water. These objects floats. This object sinks, this object floats. Why? Because objects that are lighter than water, okay, if the object is lighter than water, they will float. If the object is heavier than water, they will sink. So children, did you understand? Objects that are lighter than water floats. Objects that are heavier than water sink. Okay, let's sing the rhyme. So children, today I am going to teach you a new rhyme on the concept float and sink. So but before that, I want you to see what are the things float. Plastic toy, beads, paper, glitters, dry leaves, straws, all they float. And what are the things that sink? Pebbles, rock, cubes, marble, coin, pista shells, buttons, all they sink because they are heavier than water and these are lighter than water. Okay, let's sing the rhyme, and this rhyme is floating and sinking. Okay, the rhyme name is floating and sinking, and this is in your rhyme book. This is in your rhyme book. Let's sing the rhyme. Why do things float? Why do things float? What do you think? That's why they float. That's why they float. Why do things sink? Why do things sink? What do you think? What do you think? Things that are sink. Things that sink are heavier than water. That's why they sink. That's why they sink. Let's sing this rhyme one more time. Why do things float? Why do things float? What do you think? What do you think? Things that float are lighter than water. That's why they float. That's why they float. Why do things sink? Why do things sink? What do you think? What do you think? Things that sink are heavier than water. That's why they sink. That's why they sink. Okay, children. So, did you understand the concept of float and sink? Objects that are lighter than water floats on the water. Okay, objects that are heavier than water sink in the water. Okay, children. So, with this concept, I am coming to an end of this day. And today we have learned float and sink. So, kids, again I am going to meet you in the next class. Until then, it's your auntie saying bye and take care.